questions you got? Oh, there he is.
Oh no.
Right, he's the one. Yes, sir.
I have some questions.
She's a member of the choice.
So these here are the circled ones? Right? And then some more of these or not? Were the other ones okay?
Famous actors, actresses.
It looks like they're okay from what I see. Yeah, the other ones look like they're okay. Just these circled
Like
ones?
Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse.
There's more homework?
Yeah, 27.
I saw. I didn't see.
Someone recently, what's his name? The dude who plays
So much.
Chekhov.
Oh, here. I got you. Oh, I got you. Right.
Accent. Yeah, the new Star Trek, the guy who plays Paul Chekhov, the Russian accent.
Okay.
He just died. Car accident.
All right, guys. Oh.
Yeah, they call him 27 Club. All the students who died.
On the paper, their questions. And you had some circled on the other papers? There, I see one. Okay.
Suicide, overdose, murder, car accidents.
Oh, I see. You know you're doing, it's not bad to do more, but you don't have to do as much as you're doing. Let me make that point right now.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was only like 23. Recently, I still want for sure.
All right, guys, a couple things real quick. Hopefully most of you guys understand this on the homework sheet, the E50, E40, that kind of stuff. Si, senor. Just to point this out again, because you know, it's never a bad idea to do more than I ask, because that's more practice, right? But I don't want you doing more because you think you have to, and then you don't have time for other classes or whatever. E30 means every third one. So like here, you do 166, 169, 172. Just keep adding 3. Right? It's its own math problem just to figure out what math problems you have to do. Sorry. You just got to count by 3 or count by, I think somewhere I got E50 maybe. I know there's an E40. Oh. I think you just did more than you had to, right? But remember, if I say 306 through 348 every third one, start at 306, right? Don't count, don't...
He said no, he said every third.
He's not in this class, don't listen to him. But you know, if I said do number 4 through, I don't care what I'm going to say next, I want number 4 in there, right? Otherwise it doesn't make sense for me to say do 4 through. So definitely do the first one, and then you count 1, 2, that one. 1, 2, that one. I won't get mad. Just don't do it again. It just makes it easier to grade, obviously, if everybody's got the same problems done. Right? So you want your grader to be happy. Okay. I want to make sure everybody understood that, because I'm still getting a lot of people that are doing too much, which is not bad, but I don't want it to drag you down and keep you from going further. I put up here chapter 3 homework. So if you do have access to the internet, there's chapter 3, the entire chapter. Cool? Okay. So let me get to some questions. Here's a question from section 2.1. Oh, is that on? Thank you. I love you guys, but be quiet. Right. Hey, Junior Charger. Junior Charger. Hey, Junior Charger.
Yo.
Yeah, be quiet. So there's a question from section 2.1. 2.1 has got all this order operation stuff in there. And it's also where we do like terms, stuff like that. So I have a question from 2-1 number 55. Looks like this here. Where do you go? All right. So addition normally is last, but why is it not the case here? Because it's in parentheses. So parentheses always makes whatever's in them become first. Always. So I pretty much just gave it away. Right? What am I going to do first here? Totally. I want to do in here first. Yes, sir.
Is that a point in front of that 5?
That's a times.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a, yeah.
I just started out,
Because if it wasn't there, it's a little. Even if it wasn't there, it's still clear that that's this times because they're sitting next to each other. But normally when there's just numbers, I put that little dot to make sure that.
All right.
Yeah. Good. All right. Now the mistake people make. Hopefully you won't make this because we had a big discussion about this. Division is not last. Right? So you do it, and when it's with division and multiplication, if that's the only pieces, the only operations, that little chunk I'm looking at, I do it as it comes. So what's 20 divided by 10? 2. Are you with me, D? Yes? Okay, so definitely in there first. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 2 times 5? 10. So the mistake people make is they do 50 here, but I really want you guys to understand it's not just something to memorize and go math is weird shit. What is the only thing that should be on the bottom of this problem? What's the only thing being divided? That's the only thing being divided. 10. Right? You guys see it? Divided by 10 and then times 5. So if you said 20 divided by 10 times 5 is 20 divided by 50, you've somehow put, you can make a division, you somehow put this whole thing on the bottom. That's not fair. It's not fair. It would be 20 divided by 10 times 5. That's what it would look like if you wrote it out the other way. I like it. That's why making it 50 is unfair to the poor little 20 dude. He's only being cut in tenths. You're not chopping this dude into 50 parts. Oh, shit! I watched too many horror movies. 50 parts. No, 10 parts. 10's enough, man. All right, 10 parts. That would be bad. You'd still be dead, but oh well. Man, I watched too many horror movies. Is that cool, Lee? Was that part of your question, or? I think it looks like you were on the right track. You just didn't go far enough with what you got down here. All right. There's another question. Let's see, 50. I don't think you had to do 58. Yeah, you're doing too much, but that's all right. Anything else from section, guys? Anything else from section 2-1 homework? You guys? Yes. No. 2-2? Okay. We can go to 2-2 if there's nothing else from 2-1. 2-2. Sure, man. All right, what's your question? Do you have one, or what's up? Oh, well, that's interesting. You don't remember, let's see. Where are you? Way at the bottom?
Right here, Jackie.
Oh, Jackie, okay. 2-2. Cool. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, good. I like this one. All right, so like in, let me put it up here. In section 2-2, number 138, for example. All right, there we go. Oh, yeah. All right. So Eric's got rock and classical CDs in his car. They are all melting slowly. The number of rock CDs is 3 more than the number of classical CDs. So let me just ask you this. Right there, just to stop there. What if he had 7 classical CDs? If he had 7 classical CDs, how many more rock CDs would he have? I mean, how many rock CDs? If he had 7 classical, how many rock does he have? 10. Because it says he's got 3 more. If he had 11 classical CDs, he's got 14. If he's got 2 classical CDs, he's got 5 rock CDs. Whatever the hell the classical CDs number is, what am I going to do to it to find the rock? Add 3. So what if the classical CDs was C? How many rock CDs does he have then? C plus 3. That's the trick of math. That's the trick of algebra. Algebra says, I don't know what this number is. So what you can do, what happens a lot, what makes a lot more sense, is give yourself an actual number to work with. See what your brain does, and do the same thing with the variable. Because that's what math does. It says, I don't know what this number is, but whatever it is, I'm going to do this to it. So whatever the classical number is, I'm going to add 3 to it to get the rock. You can even make a little equation out of it. You can get the rock. You don't want to. You don't want to. Go on there. You build this equation.
So C could be any number, it's just plus 3.
Yeah, whatever the number CDs is, the classical CDs, whatever it is, I'm going to add 3 to it.
Yeah.
So did you see how I got there, though? I said, what if you had 10? Then you would have 13. What if you had 20? Then you had 23. What if you had 28? Then you would have 31. What if you had C? What did I keep doing? I kept adding 3.
Yeah, I had to read that 15 times and still might have got it wrong.
I'm with you. But does it make more sense now?
Yeah, it does.
This is the first step, of course, getting into word problems. We're not there yet. This is not a word problem yet. This is like the first step of a word problem. Is identifying what is just, in this case, C, and then what's the other piece? C plus 3, because there's 3 more of the other one.
Yeah.
Right? So if I make $20 more than Bob, and Bob makes B dollars, right? How much do I make? B plus 20. I love it. If I make twice as much as Bob, and Bob makes B, I make 2B. So I'm giving all the pieces math names, because then the next step would be make an equation out of those things. I can't make an equation out of things unless they have math names. And then once I make an equation, I can solve it and figure out what that value is. I won't go to the next step yet, but the equation would be the next step. This isn't even an equation yet, really. This is just the relationship between rock CDs and classical CDs. Me and Bob. Right? All right, maybe.
Can you do one more?
Sure. I didn't assign this one. We'll look at number 140. Marcella has 6 fewer male cousins than female cousins. My God. No, because I already did one of your homework problems.
No, I meant to do that one.
What do you mean?
I put it at that problem.
Oh, sorry. That's the same thing.
No.
Oh, well, the only thing different with this one, I'll give you this. All right, we'll do that. Yeah. All right. The only thing different with number 141 is they threw a couple things. It's not just 3 more, right? It's 7 less than twice the number of nickels. They even tell you in English what the formula is going to be. So if only I knew the number of nickels. So if I had 5 nickels, how many pennies do I have? You could do it. 7 less than twice the number of nickels, that's how many pennies I've got. So if I had 5 nickels, 7 less than twice the nickels. So what's twice 5? 10. And what's 7 less than that? 3. I would have 3. Right? So if I have 5 nickels, I do twice 5, take away 7. What if I had, what's up, sorry?
Like, do you write it like dollars and more? Like 0.05?
No, because it's not the money. I'm not talking about the money, am I? I'm talking about the number of pennies. The number of pennies.
When you write it, we have to write it that way.
Say again?
When
No. Please don't write it this way because it's way too specific. So what am I doing right now? I hate the fact, as a student, I would hate the fact that algebra has variables, letters, but those have to be, because there are things in life I don't know what the hell they are. I don't know. Right? So I got to put something there so I can work with it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm saying, if the nickels was 5, how would I figure out how many pennies I've got? 7 less than twice, so twice the number of nickels, and then 7 less than that. And that's how I got 3. What if I had 8 nickels? How many pennies would I have? If I had 8 nickels. So 7 less than twice the number of nickels, twice 8 is 16, minus 7, so I do, if I had 8 nickels, I would have, so I'd have 9 pennies, right? You guys see what I'm saying?
Yes.
What number do I keep? Oh, what's the matter? All right, don't look at the board. Look what it says. So I know that I have 7 less than twice the nickels. That's how many pennies I've got. So if I had 10 nickels, what's 7 less than twice 10? What's 7 less than twice 10? Well, what's twice 10? 20. And what's 7 less than that? All right. So twice 10. If I had 10 nickels, how many pennies would I have? 7 less than twice that. 20 minus 7, 13. So, oh, yes.
So you just put the N instead of the number.
Beautiful. That's it. Please, dear God, the way you said it is exactly the way you look at it. What do I keep changing?
Please, dear God.
This number. No, no, but you guys understand. I know that students hate word problems, but it is nowhere near as horrible as you think. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad if you think it's horrible and hard. I don't blame you because you're blending English and math together. That's always gross. It's nowhere near as good as chocolate and peanut butter. So, right? But look at what you could do. You give yourself a number for the thing you don't know, and you see what your brain does. And like you just said, that's the number of nickels. Do I know how many nickels I actually have? No, but yes I do. I have how many nickels? I have N. So instead of putting 5, 8, or 10, I just put N. So that, what the power of this then is, whatever the hell the nickel number is, this tells me how to quickly figure out what the pennies are. I don't have to refigure it out every time. I just throw it in there and figure it out. Yes?
So my brain put like 2 and then parentheses like N minus 9. Would that be
Oh, you mean like
then?
this?
Yeah, that's what my brain did. Is that wrong?
Yes,
Okay.
because that's twice the difference between nickels and 7. Yeah. This is 7 less than
No, I get it.
twice
I get
the
it.
nickels.
That's right. I just put number
They're
minus
separate. Yeah,
All right.
I like it. Again, this is baby steps into the foundations of word problems, but I desperately want you to see this is not as bad as you might think it is. You're allowed to make numbers up just to investigate what the answer is going to look like. There's nothing wrong with this. You're like, some people are like, where'd the 5 come from? Where'd the 8 come from? My brain. Because I don't know how many nickels there are. What this wants to do is, no matter what the nickels are, this always has to work. So I just turn that backwards. I say, let me see what it looks like for a few specific numbers. And then, like you said, just put the N in the place of what I keep putting in.
I actually solved it out. Like I put like the value of the nickels and pennies and quarters.
But you can't.
I know. That's what I know.
There's nothing else to do. I don't have enough information to do anything with this.
Yeah, but I know the value of like nickels.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
It's not 5 cents and 1 cent. N does not mean the amount of money a nickel is. N is the number of nickels. Do you have any idea how many nickels there are in this problem? None. Do you have any idea how many pennies there are? No. But I know there's a relationship between the two. If I know one of them, I should be able to figure out the other one. Because they're related.
So that right there, where you have squared out, should be the answer for that.
That is the answer for this.
That's what I did first, but then I...
You are overly welcome. But you're right, it's a good point. They had that twice in there, but you see, you just double. Instead of 7 less than nickels, it's 7 less than twice nickels. That's all. All right, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
That you do the 5 in there.
So again?
What threw me off is that you do the 5 in there.
Oh, and you thought 5 cents?
Yeah, I know. You
Okay,
got that from
but again, I'm with you. But now you understand.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many, I'm allowed to pick any number I want to investigate what the answer will look like. None of these are the answer. These are just me working out what the answer is going to look like.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like it. It actually has to make sense. It has to. Okay. Oh. Okay, so you're good then, right? Did you want that back or what? Are you good? Okay. Anything else from 2-2? I didn't see 2-2 though, man. I got 2-1 and 2-3. I didn't see your 2-2. I don't see anything else circled. And 2-5 you guys just barely started on, right? I don't see anything else circled on 2-3 or 2-4. Did you have more questions, you think? Like 2-3, I don't see. I see these circled, but I think those are just the answers. I don't see anything else like circled like it's a question. If there were other questions? Okay. It looks like, to me, I think you're doing really well. Right? From what I've seen, you're doing pretty good. Yes. Which one is that? Which section?
The envelope.
Which page?
160. What you got? 2, 3. 2, 3.
Holy crap. Alright. What is it, 160?
You can tell from there. It's an envelope. Yes.
Here.
Are you asking for this too, Jimmy? I do.
Oh yeah, so if you look at the examples, now those modeling ones, I wasn't careful enough to write those out. But here's I guess the examples like way back here. Yeah. So here's an example. So I don't have any clue how many's in the envelope, right? So it'd be x plus 4 equals 5. So obviously how many's in the envelope? 1. 1 is there. So for very basic equations, you don't actually need algebra because they are basic equations. I can tell what plus 4 is 5. 1. Ooh, it's amazing. The reason we use algebra is when the equations get grosser and I'm like, please, dear God, somebody help me. And algebra says, I got you. Alright. But for this one, it says model. Where'd it go? Write the equation model and then solve. So what equation would be modeled by 150 or 161? I've done enough of your homework. How many's in the envelope? X plus 3. So x plus 3 equals 6. Now please understand, I know you can tell the answer, but show me the algebra so I know you're doing the right thing and you're getting used to how to use the algebra. Because when the equation gets more disgusting, you're going to be like, why didn't I practice when it was freaking easy? You know what the answer is supposed to be. What is it supposed to be?
3.
Now if you do algebra, what do you do to both sides?
Subtract.
And you, sure enough, you get 3. It's amazing. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Which part? Because I don't know how many coins are in there. Do you know?
No.
So what do we use in math to take the place of something I don't know? Yeah. So if I'm like, I don't know how old Fred is. Well, yes, I do. Let's say he's X years old. And then Billy is 7 years older. So Billy is X plus 7. See, then I can do shit with it. That's the only reason we brought letters into math in the first place, is to take the place of stuff I don't know. I don't want just an empty spot, because then that gets confusing. I need something that marks the unknown, and X marks the spot. Sure, why not? Right? I don't know if the first mathematicians were pirates. I don't think so. Right? I wasn't around. Okay. So I personally don't necessarily agree with this as a teaching method, but still, because it gets a little confusing what they mean, But when you don't know something in algebra, I'm going to say, yes, you do know it's x, or it's y, or whatever letter you want to use. Or symbol. You can use a Greek letter if you want to. Omega. Yeah. All right, so anything else from homework stuff? Yes, ma'am. What about it? Are you going to turn it in? 153? Oh, this one here? The 18D one? Okay. So 153, 18D minus 9 equals 27. Now the instructions said, check to see if one of these is the solution, right?
Correct.
So it didn't say solve it. So don't solve it because I'm not going to give you credit for that. So for part A, how do I check to see if D equals 1 is the solution?
Plug it in.
Thank you for saying it like that. So you replace D with what it might be. And what you do normally is you put a little question mark because we don't know if this is equal to yet. And obviously, what's 18 minus 9? 18 minus 9? 9. Is that equal to 27? It doesn't mean there's no solution. It just means that 1 is not a solution. So you'd say 1 is not a solution. Is that cool? And then part B, you do the same thing just with the other number. Yes, ma'am.
Can you do the first math problem? Like the first homework?
Which number? Where?
456. 456.
Oh, from the first section you mean.
I got a lot.
456?
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a counting number and a whole number?
Simply zero.
Whole numbers introduce the idea of a number that looks like a whole. So whole numbers adds the idea of 0. Counting numbers are 1, 2, 3. Whole numbers adds the idea of 0 to that list. So from the list 0, 1, 75, which ones are counting numbers?
2.
Where are we looking? All right, we'll do that one. We'll do 453. 2 and 99.
Or 1 and
All right, 1 and 75 are counting numbers. Now which ones are whole numbers? 0. 1 and 75 are whole numbers. Because whole numbers are all the counting numbers plus 0. Integers are all the whole numbers plus negatives. Rationals are all of those plus fractions. And so forth. It just keeps adding more and more ideas. It kind of follows the way that humans developed numbers. We didn't know 0 existed for a long time. I think I told you that. You all are standing on the shoulders of generations of humans making shit up that works for them, right? And I know that sounds like you made the shit up, but the only reason I say it like that is because that's why I love teaching 120. You learn what the number 0 in Mayan, the number 0 looks like that. In Mayan, the number 6 looks like that, right? And let's see if I remember my Chinese. It's been a while. I think in Chinese the number is that 6 or 8? I always forget. Anybody know? Okay. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's why I said make it up. The idea of 2 exists. 2 people. But what do I use to represent that idea? Could have been anything. We just had this develop over the years. It didn't look like this always. It just, that's where it kind of ended up. And some of you guys do it differently. Some of you guys do it without a little curly thing, right? Hopefully, then my clock does. I don't know what my clock does anymore.
Yeah.
No. You know, the LED clock, LCD, yeah. Anyway, I went way too far there. All right. So anything else from homework? Yes.
Can you do 460? Sure, just wrote it all together.
Whole number would be 0,
Oh.
25.
So many people misunderstood this. Some of you guys were just circling one of these.
Oh, yeah, me.
It said, tell me what place the 4 is in. The 4 is not in the hundreds place. Right? What's in the hundreds place?
100,000.
That 2 is in the hundreds place, right? Yeah, not that, but the 4 is in the 100,000s place,
Oh, that's what it is.
and so forth. You have to tell me each one of these, what place is it in? Right? So most of you guys got that, but some of you guys are just circling something. No. No. Huh? I think that's what this one says, right? Yeah. 4, 6. What place is the 1 in? What place is that? 10 million. 10 million, right? The 1. The 1. Sorry. That first 2 is in the million spot. Yes. I like it. Thousands, millions, billions, trillions. Unfortunately, you got to go that far for the debt, for example. All right, guys.
You're basically saying they're both the answer.
All right.
Either one or the other.
It's cool with me when the talking is math. That's good. Anything else from homework? All right. Oh. Are you ready to turn these in? Are you ready to turn these in? Yes? Sure? Not the 2.5 though. You guys just barely started at 2.5. I'm going to put that back in there. And just remember, I mean, like I said, you don't have to do every single problem, right? That homework sheet tells you which ones to do. Like sometimes only every third problem. So that'll make it go a little bit quicker. You know what I mean? Otherwise you'll be getting way behind.
Okay, can you please see more?